folks, I'm Vasel here, and welcome to Best of Publishers. This is where a series in which I take a look at different publishers and tell you my favorite games from that publisher. Today we're taking a look at R&R Games. Now, R&R Games, what does R&R stand for, first of all? You know what? Nobody knows. The company, which was started by Frank DiLorenzo, he loves puzzles. I mean, he loves puzzles. So he has a secret hidden puzzle on the internet that has been there for well over a decade to figure out what this is. I have sent in hundreds of guesses to try to guess what R&R stands for. Everything from rice and roni to riches and riddles. And then, yes, of course, I asked if it was rest and relaxation. It's not. He says the clues are out there. He says I've come the closest. I don't know what that means because I've guessed so many times it doesn't matter. But if you guess, apparently you win a really big prize. Now, R&R Games started, their very first game was a puzzly style game, but they definitely fell into a niche of party games. They produce a lot of party games, they produce a lot of silly fun games, but oddly enough, they also then publish some pretty meaty Euro games too, which is something that the owner of the company, Frank DiLorenzo, likes. One of the games that's not in my top 10 that they picked up is they got one of the Spiel des Jahres winners, Hanabi. And that they brought that one over from Europe, and that one, of course, a cooperative game that's done really well. They also have some neat things, like they have a toy hide-and-seek safari where you take this toy and hide it and have a wand and you go around and it tells you how hot or cold you are as you're looking for the animal. And I know they're coming out with a new version, or they already have come out with a new version of that works really well for kids. But we're talking about my 10 favorite games from R&R, so here we go. Number 10 is Ulm. ULM. This just came out at the Essen Spiel Fair. This is one of those heavier Euro games where you're making boats go down a river and building buildings and whatever. You're putting this tile down and you slide it across, and you have 3 tiles there, and then those are the 3 actions that you take, and the actions are varied, and I can then move my boat farther down the river to get points. It almost feels a little bit like a Stefan Feld game. Actually, it feels a lot bit like that, but it does all come together. There's some neat things back and forth, card play, deciding when, you can't do everything in this game, so you have to decide what's best to do. Number 9 is Take Your Best Shot. So here we jump into the party game category. Now, this one never really did that well for R&R Games, but I personally like it. Essentially, you turn a card over and it asks you a question where the answer to that, there's some answers on the card, and I take a color ball that matches the answer that I think matches it and throw it into a thing, and whoever's ball lands at the bottom has first chance of getting it right. If you get it wrong, though, then you go to the second ball and so on. It's a silly device, but I love it. It's like those things that a kid, you threw a basketball in and you didn't know which side it was going to come out. It's had that same kind of feel to it. Take your best shot. Number 8 is Smarty Party. Smarty Party is a great party game in which you have a category. So let's say the category is countries of the world that border Russia. Okay, well, we should know that, right? Or at least a little bit of that. So you'd pass it to the first person, and that person might say India. And if they are correct or not, then they take the smarty pants. But if you ever, and you just keep going around, but if anyone ever gives an incorrect answer, they take some points. You don't want points. And once all the point chips are gone, everyone scores points. Whoever is holding the pants at that point in time loses a point. Very simple game, lots of fun categories, pop culture, all over the world. People are going to argue over the lists, but it is a very, very fun game. Number 7 is Coin Quest. Now, this one just came out. I really like it. I'm a big fan of bag building games where you will buy things, put them in a bag, and pull them out. And this one, it's coins, gold, silver, and copper coins. But it also has a mixture of that with bidding. So I'm bidding secretly on different coins that are out there. We reveal it. Whoever wins the coins takes those coins, put them in their bag. Some coins give victory points. Some coins are not as good as others, so maybe no one else wants it, so I have a chance to get it. Not the best production values in the world, but a solid, really entertaining game. Coin Quest. Number 6 is Spit It Out. Spit It Out is a game where you are going to turn over a card and might say, name 4 animals or whatever, or name animals, and you need to name 6 animals. So maybe name 6 wildcats, right? And then you roll 2 dice, and let's say you roll 2 and 4. And then someone's going to draw a card, so they'll say, name a wild cat. So I'll be like, lion. Then the next card I turn over is name a snake. Well, that matches number 2, so I need to name something that it could conceivably be a wrong answer for that category. So I might say elephant. Number 3, name a Disney movie, Bambi. Number 4, name a Star Wars character, Han Solo. Number 5, this is one that's wrong. They'll say, name a Lord of the Rings character, and I'll go, Harry Potter. So you have to say the wrong answers on numbers that are rolled, and it's hilarious because you think it's easy to say the wrong answers, but it is not. Number 5 is Spike. Spike is a railroad game in which you're trying to connect cities and deliver goods. There are big railroad games called the Cranrail games from Mayfair Games, where you draw and you move trains back and forth. This game feels like a condensed, faster version of those games. It doesn't look like that much. When you look at it, it doesn't look like the coolest game in the world. But when you play it, it's fun, it's fast, and it has the feel of a deeper game, but it's shorter and simpler to play. Number 4 is Mombasa. Mombasa is another one of the heavy Euro games that R&R Games has come out with. This one's a solid stock market style game as you are colonizing Africa, and so and every game is different, the way that things are set up, and you have to decide what you're going to do and move on different tracks on your own player board. A lot of tough decisions in this game, and there's a bit of worker placement in it. But it certainly is intriguing, and the heavy Euro gamers in my group love this game, and I can see why. Solid game, Mombasa. Number 3 is Plucking Pears. There's another party game. You'll notice I really like R&R party games. And in this one, you turn over 11 cards, and everyone writes down pairs of them. So, I think the apple and the computer go together. Why? Because Apple computers. That's so obvious. And someone else put the apple and a knife together because, of course, you're going to peel the apples. So you pair up 5 pairs, and then the 11th card is the odd man out. And then you start reading these off and see who you match, because if you match other people, you get points. And it's hilarious how you're like, those two obviously go together, and no one else thought that. Really, really cool game. Number 2 is First and Goal. First and Goal is a football game, a football dice game. Can you believe that's my second favorite game from them? But it's just really good. It's especially good once you start adding expansion packs. In this game, you and the offensive defensive both play a card. You see how the plays coordinate, and it shows you what dice to roll. Once you play the expansion packs, the dice are going to change based on the teams. So some teams are better at running or passing. It's very simple, but it lets you play a full football game. Still my collection. Really enjoy it. And my favorite game from R&R Games, by a mile, I wrote down number 1 and then looked at the list, and that's Time's Up. It's the game they're probably best known for, maybe not, except maybe Hanabi. Time's Up, Title Recall. Time's Up is a party game that was essentially a parlor game, and in fact, this game has been made by several other companies in the last few years, but R&R is the first company that I know of that published a version of this, where you have a bunch of cards. We've done this one live on our show here many times, and you are trying to get people, you give clues so people guess what's the words on those cards, but in the second round you can only give 1-word clues. In the third round you can give no clues, you can only pantomime it, and the game is very meta, it's very silly, it's so much fun. I've never had a bad game of Time's Up. Definitely check it out, especially Title Recall. That's my favorite version. R&R Games, you can expect every year they're going to come out with a bunch of small little games that are like fizzlers that I might say are okay, yeah, but some people like them because they're simple and easy. They'll come out with a couple party games, which I'm always excited to see, and they'll come out with a couple heavy Euro games. What are your favorite R&R games? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and this has been Best of Publishers. Today, R&R Games.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.